All right, folks, Brent Fikowski here with the PROPEL program. October 20th, we have a new 5-week block of training starting. The last training block, you all just did great on Diane. So congrats to everyone who did Diane. I'm filming this on Friday here. So tomorrow, you're going to be doing Gretel, and good luck on that. But it's been great seeing the awesome Diane scores pour in. This new training block is, I'm going to start with the Propel athletes. So the athleticism, the jumping, the plyometrics, the sprinting, the rotation. So a couple new things, a couple old things. We'll start with the new things. So the one thing that we're adding in here is some very specific rotation work that's sort of progressing each week, and some cool new variations, some cool new exercises you haven't done. So we've got a rotation day that's really like range of motion based. So it's kind of like a weighted stretch. This week is the pigeon pose and the deep row and the reach. And then we have a weighted exercise. So there's going to be some landmine rows. This week is a stagger stance kettlebell swing. So try and load those up within reason. Stay safe. And then the third exercise, specific rotation exercise, is going to be mostly around slam balls. So it's going to be more explosive. So kind of excited to have those 3 dedicated little pieces throughout the week directly for rotation, where there's sort of like a range of motion, there's strength focus, and there's a power focus. And we're going to see that for 5 weeks. So you're going to get 15 solid sets in there. Back up on the isometrics. I mean, I add those in on my own anyway, but we're officially programmed in every single day of this training block, typically 3 by 30 seconds. Some knee variations, some ankle variations, and yeah, get those in. No need to fuss around, get it set up, get it going, and you will see the benefit from that. Obviously, we were doing quite a bit of sprinting the last block, a little more jumping this training block. So let's keep those joints healthy, keep those tendons strong. Doing some band assisted jumps into some depth drops twice a week. Those don't have a bunch of progression over the next 5 weeks, other than just getting the work in, keeping them quality. This time around, really focus on fast ground contact times with the band assisted. So use that band to really minimize the amount of time you're spending on the ground. Still jumping as high as you can, but really just slap that ground and jump as high as you can, while making sure that that ground contact time is very fast. With the depth drops, no need this week to go crazy high, right? Let's just get them in. You can go a little bit higher in the weeks to come. We're going to be doing it every week, and very minimal increase, if any, on the like the number of sets and reps with both of those things. So just know that you can kind of like increase the depth a little bit if you want to. It's not like we're doing 5 sets of 10 and then, or sorry, it's not going to be that, but let's say it's 4 sets of 4, and then it's not going to be 8 sets of 4 and then 10 sets of 5. We're not increasing the number of reps, so you can increase the depth of the jump. So let's just keep it safe this week, keep it consistent. And back up on the velocity tracker, a little more keyed in on velocity. Last block was a little more just basic strength work, got a little bit heavier. So this time we're going back to some speed work and less running, because we did so much running in that last block. So kind of mixing it up again. So yeah, lots of cool new additions there. I'm really excited about doing this training myself. I'm going to be jumping in on a little bit more Propel competitor next 2 weeks as I'm leaving for Europe to the Rogue Invitational and Lowlands Throwdown, and got to make sure I'm ready to do a couple WODs if the situation calls for it. Looking to Propel programming for competitor, for those of you wanting to compete in the sport of CrossFit. We have probably one of the big things here is we're training for 333. So we have a dedicated skill day for jump rope practice, so a different skill every week. Already filmed a video for that for this first week, and got a couple more I'm filming the next few days that are going to be fun for just some specific skill work to make sure your jump rope skills are improving. Obviously, people spend a lot of time on the ring muscle up and the squat snatch, but just as important to dial in perfect technique on the jump rope. So I have that video in there. This week's all about staying relaxed. 333, we're kind of periodizing that. We're doing some gradual increase in volume and intensity, doing some intervals around 333, which is a 3-kilometer row, 300 double unders into a 3-mile run. So at the end of this block, you're going to test that, which will be a lot of fun. And then the other big focus this time around is really around the handstand. So quite a bit of handstanding. We have Tuesday afternoon is like a full upper body kind of accessory day just based around flexibility. Stealing some stuff there from the Train Your Weakness shoulder mobility program, where really just getting in some dedicated time with a bunch of different drills to improve your overhead from this to this, hopefully. And then on Wednesday morning, you can use that newfound mobility, hopefully. Shoulders are feeling sweet, and we're going to smash you with a lot of handstands. So starting with some handstand holds, and then doing just a ton of handstand push-up related accessories. Higher rep range, looking for a little bit more hypertrophy. You can grind out some of these reps. These reps can get slow, but really just accumulating a lot of pressing repetitions. That's the key, pressing repetitions. And then on Saturday, we've got a handstand walk test, and then we're going to retest it, because all this pressing, all the handstand hold, the strict handstand holds, the shoulder mobility, hoping that by the end of this training block, even just after 5 weeks, and really 4 weeks, so 28 days from the test to the retest, you'll hopefully see some improvement in your 3 minute of handstand walk, which is just a test, quite frankly, I made up, but I think pretty valid, right? You're using the 25-foot increments. It's, here we are, we're getting into winter here in Northern Hemisphere. So more handstand walking inside, 25 feet at a time, 5-foot increments. And yeah, just chip away, get as much distance as you can done in that 3 minutes. And hopefully your muscle endurance, your shoulder positions at the end of these 5 weeks of training are going to improve. And you're going to see an improvement by the Saturday retest way at the end of the training block, which I believe will bring us to November the 15th. So got some time there. The handstand push-ups is part of a longer plan with the handstand push-ups. So we've got a 5-week block, 5-week block, 5-week block. So 15 weeks to get your handstand push-ups to a place they've never been before. So we've got 5 weeks here of hypertrophy, gain a little more size, kind of working in that 12 to 20 rep range for a lot of the movements. The next training block, cutting down the reps, keeping the load high, still grinding out some reps. So still staying strong, trying to build that top end strength. And then the last 5 weeks is my sort of specialty, which is the higher rep and more specific handstand push-up work. We've done some subtle variations around that, make some tweaks to it on some stuff that I was looking back at some old programs that were working well for me, but really just, then kind of dialing it all into more sports specific, real like CrossFit workout specific. Let's get our handstand push-ups better. So that'll be from that block will be after Christmas. It's crazy how time flies. That'll start December 29th, that third 5-week block. So just to give you an indication of where all this handstand push-up work is headed, I've got sort of a 15-week plan specifically for the handstand push-ups, which should lead you into the end of January, which is, qualifier season, right? Whether you're doing the open or other qualifiers, that's when things start to ramp up typically, and hopefully you'll be feeling like, damn, my handstand push-ups feel great. That is the main focus here. I'm going to obviously talk more next week about the strength work, but as usual, sort of Monday, Friday mornings, working on getting stronger, keeping strong. And yeah, great week of training, great weeks of training coming up. Any questions, hit me up, Train Heroic. And if you're watching this and you have not subscribed to the PROPEL program, you are not a smart person. Sign up and we'll get to work together. All right, that's it. Brent Fikowski out.